And here we are for round 2. Again, no, not particularly interested in playing first in this format, and this looks just fine. We've actually got several removal spells. Not really sure how we're going to kill them, but that's okay. That is okay. The other exception, I said you want to go on the play if you know you're playing against the Infect deck. You also generally want to go on the play if you are playing the Infect deck. So we're a little scared of seeing our opponent go Swamp or Forest, but anything else we're kind of happy about. Refilled my coffee cup, and coffee is good. I approve. Alright. This could be mistake time. We will see. Yes, we will see. Okay, blue-black is not typically Infect. It can be, but it's not often. If we hit a Plains, we're Snap, Revoke, Existencing that. We didn't, so we're going to move along with our life. Now, ideally, we hit one more land. Plains would be nice. But if we don't, we can live with it. Tangled Angler, you say? That is also a problem. So where we're at now is they can make us block this. And I may just have to bonds it, because Tangled Angler is busted. Like, it's very tempting for them to try to eat my mirror here. I guess it's not that tempting, because they know I can just tap it in response, but maybe they want to get an Infect counter on me? I don't know. I'm going to bonds it, but you can have the first hit. Golem Foundry. Okay, that doesn't do anything. So that's the good news, is that card's pretty terrible. It looks like they are actually going to try to Infect me, though, which is interesting. I'm probably going to cut off their green source here by bondsing the mirror as well, but we'll see if we draw a Revoke. Alright, we'll get revoked. Get out of my game. Now they can't regenerate the Blight Mamba. We should be alright here. It's very unlikely that the game goes long enough for Golem Foundry to do anything. I remember when I first saw this card, I was excited about it, but it's like a super late game play. Tumble Magnet's good. It's a tapper, but a 3-turn tapper. With the double bonds, though, I don't think they're going to get the damage into me fast enough. They don't even want to attack here, which is fine by me. Let's start with getting our mirror. See what we draw here, which is the Riddlesmith. So I can cast the Riddlesmith. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can have a Thresher next turn if I draw a land and I'm willing to just run out the Silver Mirror. And I think I am. I think I am willing to do that. So we'll hit for 2. Play our Silver Mirror and move along with our life. Can't very often do 3-color decks in this format from what I remember. A Light Splash you can do pretty easily. But it looks like they're doing a bit more than a Light Splash. And playing some cards that don't do a whole lot. Like, you can indeed turn something into an artifact now. They may get a 3/3 by the time this game is over. We'll see. We hit our land, so we're pretty happy about that. I'm going to go in with the Snap Cell Glider and the Mirror. Like, no point not getting some damage off of it. I'm not proud to be playing this Thresher, but that is the world we live in. I guess they're going to start using their Tumble Magnet on it. They must have some sort of proliferate mechanic in their deck. Okay, and Still Infection is not bad. This is the most expensive card in the deck, though, so the Mirror, not super relevant there. Well, I guess it is if I do that. I probably, yeah, you should always loot. You should always loot. It's just correct to loot every single time you have the opportunity to do so. Like if we hit a land and discard it, I'll be happy that we don't have to deal with it anymore. Yep, we want to use that ability. And yep, we don't need that land. Look, we have Delirium. Got sorcery, artifact, creature, and land. Roar! Taste our Mirry Fury. That's why I like the Galvanizer. And being colorless, I think it's an early pick. Get Galvanized. You can also do some neat stuff if you've got enough of them and kind of filter some mana through it. Yeah, there's the proliferate shenanigans. So he can instant speed make a 3/3, which kind of matters. And he can, you know, have a little bit more time on the Tumble Magnet. Like, we can probably finish this off in the air. That's going to be good for potential 3/3 shenanigans. Presumably tapping the flyer now? No? Okay. Yeah, I don't want to need my dudes eaten when I'm sitting here on a 6/6 flash Vigilance Indestructible. Again, it's not particularly good against the Blight Mamba. They'll eventually chip away at it, but it's something we can attack them with that they don't necessarily see coming. Still sitting on that Golem. I guess there's no reason to derp the counters off if you're planning on proliferating more. Like, I can attack with this guy every turn until they have green mana. Okay. Just playing all the colors. I like it. They can eventually shrinky-dink my stuff down. Surprise Golem! Oh, come back! We were having so much fun. We would even had a tough choice about whether to discard this Island or not. Okay, so we're up against some weird infect artifact shenaniganry, presumably with more proliferate shenanigans. I'm kind of again on the thought train that I don't want Turn-Aside. Like, Instill Infection's pretty handy. Pretty handy. Tangled Angler is a rough card to beat. Like, these are our two answers. I guess the fact that we have two answers and they have one of them is probably on our side. But it's a little scary. Yeah, and like a 1/5 is really crappy against Infect. They're just going to shrink-a-dink it down pretty easily. I guess the upside is that their mana looks like it's kind of rough. We don't know that for true, but we can guess. I think I'm going to keep this the same with one turn aside in, rather than bring in the Wayfarer here, because it's just so bad against Infecty dudes. And I think the shenaniganry we've got going in blue is just better than what green has to offer us here. Because like we'd get the replica, a wall, which is also bad against Infect. I mean, it's good against Infect. It buys you a lot of time, but it just sits there for and eventually shrinks. It doesn't stop them from attacking long term. Molder Beast is hard for them to deal with though because of the trample. But yeah, let's run this bad boy back. We've got an Air Force. We've got a plan. We can do it.
We will see. Yes, we will see.
Okay, this is a hand. Turn 2 Elvish Visionary is not bad. Followed by turn 3 Elf Lord. I guess if you want to speak the language of Mirrodin. Blight Mamba. We may have to bonds that eventually. We certainly don't now. There's no point making a dude yet. Maybe they were splashing blue for a couple of proliferate cards. Maybe their deck's going to be stronger than ours when they have perfect mana. Yeah, Trigon of Rage is very good in the Infect deck. It means we're going to be interested in blocking in the very near future. Fortunately, we got plenty of ways to block. This guy's worse against Infect. I want to use all of my mana. I can just spew out another 1/1. I can also play the Galvanizer. I think I'd rather just spew out another 1/1. I might be crazy here. Yeah, because the Galvanizer would allow me to block and just take time, whereas here I'm just chump cycling. But I'm kind of feeling like we have to bonds this. Okay, new bonds target. They're not attacking. Okay, I guess they didn't want to. That kind of makes sense, but it gives me more blocks. All right, there's our long-term plan. So the question is, like, they can make us block one thing here, and we can bonds, but I can do that next turn. I'm scared to death of this Trigon. But I think I need the power and toughness that the Galvanizer gives me. Like, it means we could potentially gang block the Tangle Angler and then they, you know, trade for everything. But that's fine. These cards cycled. And if I can get this answered and get a counter off of this, we should be pretty good. Because it doesn't look like they're going to be able to power it back up. This gives you +3/+0 for 2 mana. You can only do it 3 times. Now, they may be able to power it back up with their proliferate shenanigans. I didn't recognize it last game because they were so mana screwed, but this is the Infect deck that we were scared of. They've got some of the good cards. Like a Plague Stinger would be terrible for us, too. Copper Mirror, not the end of the world. Liquid Metal Coating, also not the end of the world. We're actually getting pretty safe here, which I like. We're going to need a kill condition, but that's fine. We'll find one. This guy even helps us find one. Because if he doesn't die, we can get the Serpent down, and they got 4 turns to deal with that. It's amazing what a scary card Tangle Angler is. I guess that's why it's an uncommon. What is that anyway? A horror? I guess the Eldrazi and the Phyrexians have some things in common. Doesn't that look like it could be an Eldrazi card? And like even the kind of the landscape behind it looks like it could be something. Skittles! What's up, Skittles? Okay, new plan. We know what we're doing with our Bonds of Quicksilver. Because we're getting hit by Skittles and there's really not much we can do about it. We are about to taste the rainbow and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Alright, so Skittles is 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got to disenchant that Trigon instead of playing my Scrap Diver Serpent, and I don't like it. It sucks. I don't want to do it. But if they get 7 on us, we're at 8, and then we're 2 proliferates away from dead. Any pump spell kills us too, right? Like they could have 4, 5, 6, 7 for these 2, and then they've got enough for there's a X pump spell, and they could get 2 more from it. We're just dead. I have to not die to this. It does mean technically we get to use all our mana because we're going to be able to flash Bond Skittles. Which is good. But it does take us a turn off from being able to try to kill them. All right, that's not a big deal. They'll get more green mana. That's a big deal, but because eventually they'll get the Tangled Angler to where they can make us block everything with that. It's kind of risky not leaving up Regenerate for Skittles, but I guess they don't feel like they're under enough pressure to have to worry about it. Okay, so we know they've got an island in hand. Alright, so we're basically at 10 life now. We've got Skittles mostly handled. We still can't really make any attacks. They've got a tapper, which means that they can't answer our Serpent, which is not good. I'll hold 1 land with the idea that we can loot it away if we get a Riddlesmith. So it looks like they don't have Metalcraft, but they do, because they can turn something else into an artifact and then use this. So they've got a tapper, basically. Which means we're going to need to deal with this before we can actually start getting in any damage. I mean, you think board stalls happen now. You should have played back in the day. We stalled all the boards, all the time. I suppose the good news is we've got another Evoke Existence in the deck, so if they turn something we want to kill into an artifact, we could kill it. We're not in that position now. You can tap my Serpent? Where are they targeting? A Swamp? Okay. Yeah, we got nothing else to send in. That was probably the safest play for them, rather than targeting any of their other dudes. It does make, again, removal on, like, a Copper Mirror a pretty big deal. Alright, our dude's answered, but Glimmerpoint Stag, what's up? Suddenly becomes a good draw. Okay. That means they kill us once they resolve 5 spells. I don't think we can kill them before they resolve 5 spells, but I'm going to try. It needs to start with the Gravedigger bird into another enchantment removal spell. Like, we can't attack through that 1/5 currently. It's like we've got to get down a threat that can attack and deal with this. Well, here's the start. It's not a great start, but it's a start. I need to take this guy out if they're going to be playing all this infect crap. So we swing with the team. What happens? They block, regenerate, block, take out my galvanizer, take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 potentially. Downside is that means we don't have any blockers on the way back. Oh, we've got this guy. I'm just trying to decide if these guys are going to get better than this. And they may not. I can leave the galvanizer back and then have plenty of stuff to block with. So like, what do I actually lose here? Okay, so they're going to block this guy and regenerate, block this guy, and then take potentially 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's actually not bad. If we're going to try to win this game, I think this is how we do it. I don't know that we're going to win this game, but I do know that being stone dead to them casting 3 spells is not a viable way to get through this. Okay, well, I misestimated their blocks, but them taking 4 is fine. What are they doing? Turning a swamp into an artifact until end of turn? What does that even do? That's why I didn't attack with him, so I could untap everybody else. They probably played that by now. Like, them having a spell is really bad for us. Turn aside's all right, but not amazing. I think we're in the same position again where we've got to attack. And I think we have the same attacks as last turn, even though they obviously get a bit worse now. I can't quite trade in the galvanizer yet. But if we force through another 2 damage and then hit like another idol or our Gravedigger Falcon, we can kind of start to do something. We are wrecked by a spell. Like, once they proliferate, they've wiped our board. But I think trading in our ground team for 7 damage is probably worth it. So again, Glimmerpoint Stag gives us 2 things that can attack. The Gravedigger Bird is good. I don't know that we have more ground attacks, but we could probably get in another 2 points of damage on the ground if we have to. They're being very passive, which again I think is one of the few ways we get out of this. Okay, I can't loot enough, so I may as well play 1 there so I could play the stag and something else. Still gonna make them tap it. I think if I attack here, we just get in 2 points of damage and then we're done with our ground attacks. The fact that all of this is dead anyway to them drawing a spell means I probably still attack with it. Oh, we can't not have blockers on the way back, though, so I think we probably send these in, except that we're going to get in 2 points of damage, and that's the end of our ground force. And then we've got a plan for the air, which is drawing something that can attack in the air. We can stop the shenaniganery relatively quickly, too, with an artifact removal spell. I should leave up Turn Aside, even though it's already pretty terrible. But like, if they try to kill this guy, I'd like to keep him around. Alright, that's not good. Ground Pounders are now dead. And we're going to go to 7 poison. They can get pretty damn close to killing us with just drawing another spell. It looks like they maybe hit a land if they're playing another one. That's good news. Like here they can, yeah, make us block with this guy. Which, to be fair, I probably want to. Like, I don't have to block 7, 8, 9. I can go to 9 poison by tapping it, even though there's not any mirror to untap. The problem is I don't want to go to 9 poison because then I'm just dead to a spell. So I guess we will block then. I feel like we flooded out a little bit here. But still have potentially some good draws. Snap Cell Glider, not really one of them. Because we should be dead here. I'll still play it out. We're up on time, so there's no need for me to scoop. An unanswered Surtark got us. Yeah, I've got to block both of those or I'm dead to a spell. Alright. I'm probably dead to a spell anyway. Yeah, I'm dead to a spell anyway, even if I don't block them. So there's an argument for I should have attacked for 1 there. Not that I really think I have much that matters, but like, say we draw... Yeah, sure, buddy, I was blocking you anyway. Okay. Yeah, I almost assuredly should have attacked for 1 there. I may as well keep my galvanizer, so sure. So like he wasn't blocking, so if I'd gotten them there and I draw exactly Glimmer Point Stag to free this guy up, and they have nothing and draw nothing, that would mean this is lethal in a couple turns. But I like I said, I think they're really likely to draw a spell before that happens, but there's Trinket Mage. It doesn't actually get anything. But sure. I mean, we'll see what we can do. They can make all of our guys block the Tangle Angler at this point, so we're kind of just dead on board. But I guess there's no point like coming right out and saying that. Again, I'll put them to 10 because I should have done that last turn anyway, and it's not blocking, so sure. We've used both of our spell bombs, so there's nothing to search for. Yeah, nothing here, but like Bonds sort of gets us out of this. Glimmerpoint Stag, Hippogriff is a start. It's too late for Hippogriff, and that Revoke Existence earlier would have mattered, but I think we're just dead here. I'm still going to make him go through the motions of killing me. There's a chance I want to go on the play against this deck, but there's such a slow version of Infect. Like, they're trying to really grind me out with Blight Mambas and Anglers, and then maybe get a surprise kill with a Hasty Skittles. I really don't like the turn aside. I'd kind of rather just have anything else. So we've really got to dig through there. I also don't love the Darksteel Sentinel. Like, it just matches up so poorly against these two cards. Blurp. We got blurped. So what have we got as options? We've got a pretty bad combat trick. We could look at moving into green. We lose two of our decent removal spells. Like, they're not tapping our stuff here or activating their Tangled Anglers against us. I'm just not entirely convinced we can win in that scenario. So, like, mediocre combat trick is mediocre. I may not have something better than this guy, but I can certainly get the turn aside out of here. I really just want another flyer, and I don't have one. Just something to force damage. Could I play a Seal Claw? I hate this card, but is a 1/2 flyer enough? Like, I'm not playing it because I think I'm going to mill them out. I'm not. But that can't be right, can it? Like, so much of our deck just folds to a 1/5. And I've got exactly 2 answers to it. We've also got to worry about Skittles, because Skittles just wrecks our day. So this is like everything that I don't like in a Magic card, right? It's like expose evil without the clue and add 1 more mana. It kind of doesn't matter that you remove the equipment, because who cares? I may just not have a better card to play, though. Like, I sat there with turn aside in my hand and it did nothing. It will probably continue to do nothing. Would I rather have a 1/3? Gosh, this is all crazy. I'm going to play a 1/3. I should just play a 1/5. Prevent all damage 1 or 2 target creatures would deal this turn. I think that's probably going to be better than a turn aside. It's really bad. It's a targeted fog. I get it. It sucks. But I think I probably need it. I do think when playing against Infect, generally you should be going on the play, so I'm going to make that decision here. They're not a very fast Infect deck. I'm going to keep this. It probably looks crazy, but I've got the Trinket Mage to make sure that I get the Spell Bomb, to make sure that it cycles. So we can actually draw, like, we've kind of got 2 action spells in our hand with this opener. And it's not like they were super aggressive out of the gate and like, hey, now we can draw it and cast it and have a Mirror in play, because Mirror, great. Alright, you got your Metalcraft. I see what you did there. Alright, so like Mirror Galvanizer, Flyer, even Glimmer Point Stag is acceptable. So this is not a bad start. We've got 6 permanents on the board to their 4. Riddlesmith is good. Riddlesmith is good. I think we probably start with the cycle though. See what we draw and then likely play the Riddlesmith anyway. That potentially lets us loot through some of these lands. Alright, another mirror is great. So we can stick the Riddlesmith, hit for 3. And then cycle one of these planes. Provided nothing untoward happens to our Riddlesmith. I just want to tell stories, bro. It's not suspicious for them to leave that mana up with the spell bomb. Like, that looks like they just want to go get mana for this, or crack the spell bomb and draw a card, which is perfectly reasonable play to make. Like, it's basically draw 2 cards for 3 mana. I mean, this card's basically divination. I guess it's 4 mana. But once it's in play, it's a divination. One of them's going to be a basic land, but the other one's not. Or it could be. You never know. You draw on a card, it could be anything. It could even be a boat. It could be so many things. Could be an Instill Infection, which sucks. We had good plans for that Riddlesmith, and our opponent understands the value of a good riddle. Riddle me this. Why would you kill this guy? He's got a neat hat, and he can, like, make TIE fighters with his pinky? Why would you be mad at that guy? This is where our flood hurt, or keep hurts a little bit. Now, we've been fortunate to draw predominantly action, so I'm a lug sack. I'm not unaware of that. But I had planned something like Riddlesmith happening. I guess the only plan was we've got a 2-for-1, take it. That guy's a bit of a problem, but not a lot of a problem if I can just swing in for 2, 4, 6. Like, I'm throwing away dudes for damage if I do that. How do I feel about that? Not great. I clearly would rather this attack me. Like, I play this, I hit him to 6. I hit him for 6. Down to 7. And then what's my plan? I don't know that I actually have one. My plan isn't to block it, though. So I'm going to attack with the Trinket Mage and then play the Galvanizer. I can't imagine he attacks. Like, if he takes this, it starts to become worth it to throw dudes away. Yeah, I guess he's thinking the mirror aren't a threat. Oh, crap. I'm such a noob. Oh! This thing. It does so many things, and I didn't even notice it. Oh, it's so bad. I'm sorry, guys. All the Scars veterans were like, Travis, you're an idiot. What are you doing? Why would you do this? Why would you do this? That's why he's playing it. Oh, it hurts so bad. It hurts. It hurts so bad. I'm probably going to lose because of it. Why do these cards have to be what they are? I don't understand. I mean, good news is we don't have to deal with this guy anymore. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I can't stop this. Oh my god. Like, even if I do the thing, he still just turns it into an artifact and it falls off. This card I made so much fun of is wrecking me. I'm still going to do it. But here's it getting me twice. Scars block, ladies and gentlemen. So I jam these in, I get in for 6. I think we've just gotten ourselves into an unwinnable spot. That is so sad. So sad. Alright. I thought we were going to easily win this. And then here we're just not. Like, both of those creatures in this wombo combo absolutely stops us from doing what we want to do. And we can't block. Oh, I love this format, and I can't believe I walked into that. Because normally I'm better than that, but that's not the case here. Soul Parry. Do you do anything? So we're going to take 3, 4 Infect and be dead next turn. I can prevent damage from this. I'm just trying to figure out if there's any way we can actually win this game. So attack here, they block my Mirror Galvanizer. They take 6. I mean, I guess we just buy ourselves one more turn with the Soul Parry. I mean, that's why Fog sucks, right? How much does the game change if I have the Trinket Mage in play and this on the board? I guess not a whole lot. That's certainly better than it would have been. Yeah, I felt like after our game 1, we were just absolutely wrecking face, and then that's not what happened. It's not what happened. We can at least eat this dude. Which I guess is something. I'm still not quite sure how we get out of it. I guess we get out of it by drawing removal for the liquid metal coating and then bonds of quicksilvering this. Like, time is starting to be a factor for my opponent, so it's theoretically possible I could win it via timeout. It's not how I want to win a game, but I mean, the clock's part of the interface. I've lost by timing out. Like, I kind of have to draw removal for it right now, which this is not, because they can just blurp, 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 blurp it off. I guess I've technically got one more turn. Yeah, we've got one more turn. Unless they have literally anything in hand. Like a pump spell, a proliferate spell, something like that. Yeah, I don't think it really matters. Like, it feels stupid to walk into onboard tricks, and that's one of the things that happens in old Magic formats. Like, we know they've got that proliferate card. That would be bad here. It just kills us. Tumble Magnet's not all that bad. I don't think we could kill them before the game ends at this point. So we kind of have to draw Revoke Existence or we're just done. That's not Revoke Existence. Which is sad, and we should feel bad. Yeah, we're just too stalled out here. I guess the only hope we have is they turn something into an artifact. Okay. I'm going to upkeep Bonza. Doesn't do much, but maybe they miss the trigger. That's about all we got. Oh, I guess doing it upkeep doesn't actually do anything, does it? Because we just did. We just did. Alright. I had this the whole time. And couldn't stop you. Bonus points to the opponent for winning with less than a minute on the clock. Or not. I think they just skipped through their attack phase. Travis, are you really this scummy? Well, I would like to play another round, I think. They can probably still kill me because all they've got to do is attack. Yeah, nothing I can do here except die. All right, well, nonetheless, I think that was still a good display of what this format is all about. I didn't quite get the deck that I wanted, but I think I got a good one. The Mirror Galvanizer plus enough mirror plus a few things to ramp into. I think we got obviously a little flooded in the last one, and this one we just needed something to break up this combo. Let's look at the deck one more time and see if there was anything else that's like obviously missing. Yeah, we never really got going with the Scrap Diver Serpent. It is basically unblockable. The Glint Hawk Idols, I think this deck wanted to have them quickly and start attacking with them to do something. We didn't really get too many fun shenanigans with the Stag other than killing somebody with it, which was cool. And never drew the Razor Hippogriff. I think that would have been pretty good for this deck to have in play. But anyway, that's going to do it for us today. We'll be back next week, probably with more Mirrodin block drafting, because again, I really enjoy this format. Appreciate you guys and gals tuning in, and do come check out the stream. I'll be drafting some Scars block over there, as well as continuing with the PPTQs for Eldritch Moon and playing some Eternal. So hope to see you there. All right, my friends, have a good one, and we'll see you next week.